Hey everyone, welcome to another Retrogears video. And before we start the video properly, I would just like to say I'm sorry that I took such a long time to finish this video. I finished shooting the material ages ago, but I've been waiting for one of my friends to lend me one of his old games he had as a kid. I wanted to include that in the video, but unfortunately he hasn't gotten around to it yet, so I'm thinking I'm just going to finish the video. This time we will talk about something slightly different, something that I initially didn't plan on covering in this series actually, namely a purely mechanical game. I found this one when I was plunging through my boxes looking for the Epic Man game that was featured in the previous Retrogears video. It's a game from Tomy called Funny Bowling, and I bought it several years ago at a flea market just because it looked pretty cool, and then put it away in the box and pretty much forgot about it. And Tomy, at least that is how I think it's pronounced, is a well-known Japanese toys and games manufacturer. They have been around since 1924 and still exist today. And in 2006 they merged with competitor Takara and are now known as Takara Tomy. In Japan at least. In the rest of the world they are still called Tomy. They made a whole bunch of electromechanical games in the 70s and in the 80s, and amongst them are many classics. They also published games for the NES, SNES, Game Boy and PlayStation amongst others, and of course made lots and lots of different kind of toys. And they even produced their own computer in 1983 called the Tomy Tutor. It was actually released in Europe as well, and in the UK under the name Grandstand Tutor. But sales were not what one might call outstanding, and it was quickly removed from the European market. As a kid I remember seeing two Tomy games in a toy catalogue, and they looked so cool, really awesome design. And they were a Space Invader clone called Terra Hit and a racing game called Formula 1. And the names are different in different countries, so you might not recognize the names. And when my parents finally bought them, I was so excited and really I couldn't wait to lay my grubby little hands on them. But when I finally got hold of them, I remember being so disappointed. The games were electromechanical and of a really clever design, but I just couldn't wrap my tiny child brain around the fact why they didn't play like the games in the arcades, or indeed why the Space Invader one didn't look and sound like the real Space Invaders, which at the time was getting fairly old. I was expecting a battery-operated portable arcade machine, which of course maybe wasn't quite possible at the time, not at the price we paid anyway. And I was hoping for something that didn't happen until years later when the Game Boy and the Atari Lynx and similar portable game systems were released. So I got bored pretty quickly with my new Tomy games. So it wasn't really until I was a lot older that I could appreciate how clever the mechanical design of many of the Tomy games were. The game we're going to have a look at is no exception and has got a really simple and really clever design. It's a portable bowling game, and as I said, it's called Funny Bowling, and I think it was released in 1979 or 1980 or something like that. Mine is manufactured in Germany. It was also released in the US under the name Strolling Bowling at the same time. And it's all contained in this neat case, which you can open up and then assemble in a pretty clever way. And it's also got this really nice handle, so you can easily carry it with you to your friend's place and then have them just as easily fling it at you using said handle when they realize how frustrating the game can be. The game is pretty straightforward. You assemble the lane, raise the pins, wind up the little bipedal bowling ball, put it down on the lane, and then watch it aimlessly jump around like a psychotic and suicidal rabbit. To be fair, I think the spring is getting pretty old and tired. As you can see, I'm having some problems hitting anything at all. Except maybe perhaps the table it stands on. In fact, it's easier to just fling the ball at the pins. If the spring was a bit healthier and you added some more people and quite possibly some beer, the game could probably be fun for a while. But to be fair, the game is for ages 5 and upwards, and they will probably find it to be more fun than a grown-up. But the game looks cool, and that's the reason why I bought it. That and the fact that it said Tomy on the box. And of course because of the cheesy 80s box art. Check out that typeface. The cool looking bowling ball looks very much like a bomb from Super Mario Bros. All it needs is some eyes, a fuse and a wind-up key. Pretty awesome. I think that there's supposed to be a manual included, but mine is missing, of course. Not that it's really needed. It doesn't really take a rocket engineer to assemble and play this game. The game is quite easy to find on eBay at pretty decent prices if you feel a nostalgic urge after watching this video. And before we end the video, I would just like to send out a big thank you to my friend Michael for setting me up with some sweet pictures. Thank you very much, Michael. And with that said, I'm just going to say thank you for watching, and please don't forget to comment and subscribe and all that stuff, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.